Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Decided to come back and I said I'm gonna do some things this week. Um, I collected a lot of old friends, some businessmen, some lawyers, ex people. I don't like to use the term expert, but people who have knowledge of things. Um, maybe Sakima, Gavin, Judge. I try to even get Sean James, Fred Henry Jr., some other people on there, right? Um, it is what it is. There's a lot of things going on in the world today, and we need to be more solution based instead of right now they say time is of the essence, and it really is becoming of the essence right now. I don't think people realize what the dangers that they are in, but sometimes I really don't think they care as well. Um, so I've been just examining it all, and it is what it is. But I don't really like being right that often when it comes to this stuff. Because when you're right, that means people gotta die. But I mean, people gotta die, but it means also a lot of people are gonna live too. The ones that are gonna live is the ones that take the information that people give them, and the ones that can perish be the ones that probably won't take the information you should give them. So it goes like that. So it's a two-way street. Um, it's a two-way street. So we got people hunting down Supreme Court justices and all this other crazy stuff. But then that goes into um, even more a bit of lunacy. People don't want you to have an opinion anymore. They don't want you to speak, but they want to speak. They want their voice to be heard. Can your voice be heard too? Maybe, maybe not. Depending on what side of the aisle you're on. I gotta make my voice be heard just like everybody else. And it is what it is. So that's just part of life, you know. And you live and you learn on those issues. Um, Now, you could lose a lot if you don't really pay attention. But I think that a lot of people have more to gain than lose if they really could take the time to really realize what they're up against. Um, so I don't think people really understand what they're up against. Um, but like I always say, time is the essence. And the only way you can win with time is either face the problem or run from it. And I don't think people are going to run from too many issues anymore longer because you're all in the battle of decision right now, whether you know it or not. I'm trying to give a guess on them. So that's why I'm trying to get all this stuff together. We should be on soon. But I did look at that thing with the Supreme Court. They're talking about going to people's restaurants and stuff like that, which I find that very interesting that you would do that. Um, um, I find it very interesting that you would do that at this point in time with all the stuff going on. But it's interesting that they do all these things for political posturing. Still not really that understood, is it? So when the problem gets understood, that's when things will change. You need 100% dissatisfaction to make real change. Look what happened in Sierra Blanc over there when they took over the palace and all that. Look at that. Um, so forth and like. So things are coming to a screeching halt. So when it comes down to a screeching halt, man, what a glory. It'll be a glorious day, I can tell you that. So we got Biden, we got Jalen Walker. I got to talk about a lot of issues here. So let me see if I can get my guess on, because I really don't want to get into too many topics without him, since he gave me time to become. Let me show you comes on. Yeah. Amen.
Yeah,
I'm on.
I'm getting on now.
I got you. Okay. All right, cool. Let me get on now. So, all right, that's good. Well, so I wanted to talk about these issues, so forth and like. But because I want him to break it down from a legal standpoint. I mean, how you just going after one group and not the other. Like, I'm pretty sure you got people on both sides of the aisle that, but I'm not pretty sure. I know you do. But it's not like that here. When we look at our problems we have as a community, and then they win us into the way up. That's my biggest problem. I'm not worried about the issues. I'm not into this feminist nonsense. Okay? There we go. What's going on? What's going on, man?
What's up, bro?
You doing all right?
Yeah.
I'm glad you're doing all right, man. What's going on out there in the world? A lot of stuff going on.
Everything crazy.
All right. So you're a lawyer. Go ahead and say who you are. I know who you are, but go ahead and talk about it.
Okay. Sakima Bey, American Indian Choctaw, my ancestral heritage. I'm an American Indian Choctaw. My dad, my grandmother, and I'm a Moor, but not with no Moorish organizations. And I am a lawyer. I have a JD degree, and my law practice, I work with a lot of our people to reclaim our Indian culture, because all of the Black people in America are two things. We're the offspring of the ancient Egyptian Coptic priestesshood who were brought here to America, set up America, created the Constitution, the Declaration, etc. And I'm also I'm tribal council for 5 Indian tribes down in Memphis and several others across the country. And I'm a member of the National Indigenous Bar Association, which is registered in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I have my law degree.
Okay. All right, that's good. So you went into detail about that, and that's good. I'm glad you did. You've been here before. I know you are, but I was speaking about a lawyer because I'm trying to find out about this thing with Kavanaugh being at Morton Steakhouse, and they're talking about paying people $200 up to $200 to if you see a Supreme Court justice or somebody on that side of the aisle. Why did Morton's you let him eat there? Why didn't you serve him? They called the restaurant. They called, say you got low reviews. We had a guy like that in Virginia. A friend of mine actually, he has a business, a coffee shop, and he he had to modify his hours now. The comedians stopped coming to the shop. People said we're not gonna support your business because you went against the right or woman's right to choose. You know what I'm talking about. Kavanaugh, Clarence Thomas, even though Clarence Thomas is technically actually now he's the second Black justice on, but he's a conservative like justice, but they were saying, fuck you, Clarence Thomas, and blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, wait a minute, you got 6 other justices on the Supreme Court. So why are you only going after Clarence Thomas? Right?
Because the people are ignorant.
Wait, let me finish. So I'm gonna go there. But the organization was called Shut Down DC, a non-profit group.
Democrat organization.
Huh?
It's a Democrat organization.
That's right. Another what they call Marxist organization, funded by these non-government organizations once again, and they are actually paying you to go out there protest. That's why they call Morton Steakhouse, just like my buddy down here at the cafe. They were calling, putting negative reviews. Some of them were actually women that was upset, but I would imagine there was a lot of white people. One of them actually had a satanic temple on her page. I saw it, and I'm sitting there saying, "Okay, well, you got to understand, these white liberals are really attacking him now." But then he had Fox News, some other people, they gave him an interview, whatever. But he still has had to modify stop hours from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and stuff, whatever the case may be, because he was open to 10 o'clock at night, and he was letting people do a lot of things. But, one thing about it I don't understand. I don't understand us getting so upset about Roe versus Wade. This is not even our fight. This is part of the feminist agenda. But my thing is, why are you saying Cav and I got to go to the restaurant? Morton Steakhouse only supposed to be serving you steak and whatever you want to eat. It's an expensive restaurant. But why are you telling Morton Steakhouse and companies they can't sit you down to eat? What is that about? What do you think? Because
they're trying to, this cancel culture. The Democrats are Is
it mob justice?
It's definitely mob justice. Democrats are grown adults with the mentality of a 9-year-old. And if they can't have their way, they kick and scream. They go to the extreme. They throw stuff. They break stuff just like a child. So this is what's happening. And you're right. But the other things, see, with Roe versus Wade, all these people that are protesting, the Supreme Court did not terminate abortion. They only sent it back to the states. They took it off the national platform and sent it to the states where it used to be available for all 48 states to get an abortion. Now it's been reduced to whatever states is going to let you have an abortion. So women can still get an abortion. They did not destroy the women's right to not be able to get an abortion. That's fake. And all of these people, it's amazing that all these women are just going around. They're destroying us. They're on The View. They're on TV. They're on the mainstream media saying this is a sad day. It's not a sad day. Women still can get an abortion. It's just not guaranteed in all the states of America. It's only guaranteed in some states that accept it.
So why is Biden actually sitting there talking about, I'm going to sign an executive order to do this, and I might have to make it a public health emergency, which means you're going to release federal funds to daggone support abortion, right?
Yep. Because
what the hell? Why are you using taxpayer money to do that? I thought the taxpayers don't want you to do it.
Well, he can't do it. It's illegal. If he does do it in executive order to do that, the Republicans are going to take him to court. The Supreme Court is going to rule that whole act that he's doing is unconstitutional. Now, he knows it's unconstitutional, but he's doing it anyway. He's doing it anyway to show his ignorant, comatose, sleep constituents that he's fighting for them. He's looking out for them. He's trying to help them, knowing he's going to lose in the Supreme Court.
So let me ask you a question about that. So what you're saying is that even though he knows he's losing battle, right? Using it for political posturing. Okay, we're gonna come back to the Roe versus Wade thing. Let's stop there because I want to bring up another issue to you since I haven't talked to you in a while, probably about 2 weeks. I said I'm gonna bring you on board. You're a lawyer in the United States, but if there's been a case, I'm just running down the rabbit hole. I'm not gonna be too long on all these issues because I got a lot of things to talk about. Over the last 4 weeks, they've been talking about we got to bring Brittany Griner home. We got to bring her home. She pled guilty the other day. Al Sharpton talking about we got to go over there and get a clergy to go over there and stop her from being abused. You know, nobody should be discriminated on race, gender, sexual orientation. But they actually letting you know she's LGBTQ. They're actually letting you know that. They said Russia is extremely anti-LGBTQ. I don't feel safe to protect my wife. Now you got this person, they're saying free Brittany Griner wearing WNBA jerseys. I mean, I'm asking you a question, Sakima. Are we really this sick to really be supporting this? Are we really this sick?
Yep, we definitely are. We are dead. We are dead, finished group of people.
Come on, we ain't dead, are we?
We dead. We are the valley of the dry bones.
That's a Bible verse.
And can these bones live? Yet they walk and they speak, but they are dead. This is the literal evidence of a people who is dead and don't even know they're dead. And they're walking around like they really know. First, see, like you said, Russia doesn't subscribe to being a faggot or gay or lesbian. They don't, just like all of the Arab states, Saudi Arabia, all of those states, they don't subscribe to that. So she went on. She pled guilty because she was over in Russia and broke Russian laws. Just like with the Ball brothers. Remember, you know the Ball brothers?
Yeah, I remember them.
When his son played for UCLA,
yeah,
and they went over to China, and they was out before the games, walking through the streets of China, and went into a store and stole things and got arrested. And his son was a part of that. And Trump was the president then. Trump had just took office, and he was instrumental in getting them back released. It was all on ESPN. So now China is against that gay stuff too, but China is communist. They want government control, socialism, communism. Mm-hmm. This is what America is. And see, it ain't over yet, but it's just about getting to the end. It's like it's the fourth quarter starting, and the other team is up by 50.
Who up by 50?
The other team, the communists.
Oh, they're
up by 50. So we got superstars.
How we coming back?
We got superstars, and the quarter is just ended. So we're starting the fourth quarter. So we got to erase a 50-point deficit in 15 minutes.
Let's get this started.
We already started. See, it's bigger. It's bigger than what we really. It's bigger than what we really know because we're not really tapped in.
All right, so I'm into something right quick. We talked about it all the time. Every time you've been on my show, you almost talked about it. The Georgia Guidestone, which got knocked down last week. That's big. People don't know what that means.
Yeah, they're trying to hide.
That's what I said. They're trying to hide it.
They tried to hide what their agenda is because it was spelled out. Biden was following it. That's what he's doing. He's not stupid. He's not dumb. He's old. There is some senileness there.
They have a liberal world order, which really means the new world order, but they changed it.
Yep.
They changed it. They switched it up.
Yep. And a lot of people, right, to this day, just heard about the damn Georgia Guidestones.
Hey,
This is what's really going. This is what's going on.
Let me say something about the Georgia Guidestones. We want to reduce population 500 million. We believe in growth and sustainability for clean energy, all that other clean climate control. All that's in the Georgia Guidestones.
Yep.
Sustainability. So, but I'm looking at it, and I was looking at something the other night before I went to sleep. And you look at the Great Depression, right? This has almost, what's going on right now is almost like the Great Depression.
Yeah, the only difference then.
The bread lines yet. We know you had them during the pandemic, but you ain't got the bread lines yet. But they could be coming.
Yeah, they're coming. But the reason why the early 1900s, I think it was 1902, the depression. It was a depression. It wasn't as bad as the one in 1929, but in both cases, technology had not been advanced to what we have today. So if we have a depression like 29 in 1902, it will be more devastating because we have centralized institutions that are connected on a grid that connect to each other. So you shut down one, you shut down everything. If the banking industry gets shut down, people are in hell, in double hell. We're already in hell. They're going to be in double hell.
Well, let me ask you a question. Now, I realize that this stuff is going to be a little bit harder. I'm looking at this thing on my phone. I'm just reading the thing that I'm going to bring to you. But you realize you're talking about centralized government. In certain parts of the world, like, what is it, Sierra Blank? What is that other country over there?
Sri Lanka. That cut the whole country is gone.
They had a big protest over weekend where the president had to flee the country.
Yep.
Okay.
And they showed them getting on a ship.
That's right. Okay. That is going to start happening more too.
Yeah, in the smaller countries.
Yes.
See, they can't get Russia's not going for it. Russia's not going for it. America is not going for it. This is why we're in the fight of our life. We're literally in the fight of our life. But like Dr. John Henry Clark stated and said, when these times come, when you turn on the TV and you see the white man fighting the other white man, do not go into the streets to help protest or protest. Go home, go make some popcorn, and watch it on TV.
Well, let me ask you a question. Shouldn't we have been doing that for Roe versus Wade, but we out in the street too? No, ain't even else out in the street for that. I take that back, but we all online for reading it.
Yeah, I mean, see, what is amazing, some of our sisters do know. Like Senator Congresswoman Stanton out of Georgia. She's pushing it. This is not our fight. Women, sisters, this Roe versus Wade is not our fight. We want to have our children, etc. So it is a feminist movement. It is eugenics. It is population control.
Marjorie Sanger said that.
Yeah.
Marjorie Sanger told you that. Hillary Clinton said it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I gotta ask you a question about. You heard about this thing called? We're gonna tap into all this stuff. This guy named Jalen Walker up there in Akron. What are your thoughts on that?
Jalen Walker?
That's the brother that got shot up there in Akron. They say police shot him 60 times.
Oh yeah. See, you got the white cops, the Caucasian police all across the country are afraid. And they don't have the ability and the capacity to deal with rational, reasonable behavior in the midst of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
We do. That's why you don't never see black cops black women cops killing anybody.
Okay.
So these white boys that kill this guy is because of their fear. And then a lot of them, and they getting prosecuted. And they going to jail. The other guy that killed the dude, he's going to jail. He got 30 years or something like that.
Okay. Now, let me bring up something else to you because we brought up that case. There was another case that happened right not too far there. This guy that dressed up as a woman out there in Illinois, Highland Park. So he was shooting on the roof.
Was that Portland?
No, that was Illinois, Highland Park.
Right. Yeah, him and his father was on social media.
Okay, but I got a couple of these lads who shooting Uvalde shooting, and this other guy out there in Highland Park. Both of these guys have been put in pictures with dresses. So these guys obviously had some trans stuff going on, some cross-dressing things going on. So when are we going to admit these people with this sick, twisted ideology are actually out there killing people too? They never will go against the trans for what they do.
Yeah.
Cross-dressers.
But that's going to change. That's going to change. That's going to change in a minute. I mean, even though he put this executive order for them, gave them money, it's going to change.
Why they get money?
Biden gave it to him in an executive order.
But what for? What purpose?
He gave them, I think it was 40 or 50 million. He set aside for transgender issues. I have the executive order upstairs in my office.
But this is my problem with this. You can pass an executive order, but he know he can't pass that through an act of Congress.
So now it's a right precedent, but it can be challenged and defeated if Congress or the citizenry file a lawsuit against it and take it to court.
Well, we have to. Well, but you know what? Why are people so scared to speak out against these people?
Because we like our cars, our Cadillacs. We like our microwaves. We like our HD TVs. We don't want to rock anything. We don't want to be uncomfortable. So none of that. Huh?
Look, where you at? In Charlotte, right?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. We're gonna talk about that too down in Washington. Just hold on. I'm gonna get to that too. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna cover that issue too, because Sakima got something. Gonna really have something to say about that.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, let me go ahead and pivot right quick just for his issue, because he wants to know: I haven't discussed the twerking senator from it's Rhode Island. It's not Iowa. Okay, that was very sick, and I want to say that's why they make us look like clown show. But Sakima, you can talk about it if you want to talk. She's LGBTQ too at that. That's another thing. She was on the beach with a bikini.
Was she gay?
Yeah.
She's a lesbian?
She's the first openly queer first state senator in Rhode Island.
That's why. Wow. Well, this is what this is showing you. Any so-called black person, what this should tell you if you're awake, listening to a show like King BJ and any other conscious podcast, is that the so-called black race is finished. They're dead. They're gone. It's over. The black female, she's literally out of her mind. The black male, going to be trans, gay. Now, if you want to be gay, be gay. But it's a violation of nature. And I give you respect. I'll talk to you, say hello and all that. I'm not going to try to hurt you, abuse you, but it's still a violation of nature. My niece, my brother's daughter is gay. My father, his brother is gay. So I got gay in my family, but it's still not natural. It's just not natural. So here's this woman that's joined the governmental institution, who's on the beach by herself or with somebody, who's already sitting in the seat, has got to run for re-election, who was convinced, or the thought came to her and whoever was holding the camera convinced her to twerk. Not just twerk, stand on your head in a two-piece bathing suit and twerk with your butt in the air. That is the condition of the majority of black women in America. They're finished. There's a handful that are okay to deal with, but that's just a handful. The rest of us, and it's so sad because every day when we go to sleep tonight and we wake up in the morning, it's going to be worse that day than it was today. So it's getting worse every day. Every day we wake up, it gets worse that day. It's going to get to the point where we're going to have to run or hide.
Well, let me ask you a question. Let me say something about that. Because we had mentioned Brittany Guy and I get off for a minute, but I realized they also said something that if she wasn't gay or something and she was LeBron James or other players, they would have been home. But because she's a woman, they trying to hold her hostage or something.
No, because Russia does not support being gay or homosexual. Russia does not support it. Saudi Arabia does not support it. Iran does not support it. Iraq does not support it. There's a lot of countries that don't support that. So for you to go over there, take a drug that country deems a drug that is illegal, to have it in your bag, not knowing the laws, as many times as you've been over there to play basketball.
Yeah, right. That's what I said. I don't get it.
She should know better. She should have known better.
And she pleaded guilty.
Yeah, the question is, what did they charge her with? Illegal drugs?
Vaping cartridges.
Right. See, over there, that's illegal.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, they charge you with a vaping cartridge.
Right. So that's illegal over there. You cannot go. King BJ cannot go to Panama and break the laws in Panama.
Hey, look, I'm gonna say something right here, brother.
And then you'll just come home.
You're right.
Because you're some celebrity figure. Of course, if LeBron James or any man, any one of those people that they named would have did that, they would have probably been let go because they're not gay. They have strict laws in Russia. They don't support that. They don't. They do like the Arab nations. Not as bad, but they do. They don't go for that.
Well, let me say something. I want to bring this up. Getting off here for a minute. Well, I realized over the last 2 years, we talked about it for the period of 2 years since I met you. Ever since the 2020 election, there's been a lot of social and political division. And they started with the jab. Now they talking about, let me give it to the 2-year-olds and the 5 months or 6 months olds, and then they did this. But you know what? I looked at Sakima the other day, and I'm just gonna bring this up. I'm not gonna really expound on it too much, but all you gotta do is go to the VAERS, VAERS medical alert system. I think I sent you yesterday, and you realize that graph they got.
Yeah.
So that's big because they are starting to tell you more now. But they're still trying to cover it up, though. See, it's kind of like, and I want you to talk about something else, too. You know, I want to bring that up because that also ties into this so-called, what, the famine in the land right now we got with the saying the wheat going to get shortened. Gas, for now, Biden them trying to bring the gas prices down or trying to act like it's better, right? But remember what you said. They're actually starting to sell off your water supply now. Huh? So they've been evicting people left and right. You told me one time, me and you talked, it was going to stop being a homeless crisis. So if you see all these issues, right? I don't know why people are so comatose right now. They don't understand what's going on.
Because everybody's bought in. Everybody is of the world. Nobody is in the world. Everybody's of the world. In other words, what that means is when you go to the store, you go to Target, you go to Chick-fil-A, you go to the gas station. You go into those places, you get what you need, you don't camp out, you don't hang around, you get your item and you leave. Our people are going to these places or in the world to camp out. They want to be a part. They want to do what the world is doing. They love it. They love it. They want more of it. And so what the world is telling you is all lies. Everything's a lie, from religion to government, to food, and to who we are as a people. And all of these people have bought into it. They cannot fathom that the government has lied to them in all these areas.
He said they're going to start ticketing homeless in St. Louis starting in August.
Oh, they started doing that in California. They're going to start to do that in California already. They're going to hit them. They're going to start in New York. I don't know if you heard the new mayor of New York City.
Yeah, Adams. I know about him.
You heard last week, one of his cabinet members was robbed at gunpoint in the daytime.
Yay! On the subway, right?
Yep.
So is he going to do anything about that?
See, what can you do? See, the problem, it's a lot of mental, like Judge Joe Brown said, we have a mental health problem in America. The reason why we have a mental health problem is because the Democrats, from after 1865, the Civil War ended, they've been on an agenda plan to create this kind of dichotomy in the country. So you got people that are mentally sick, who are weak, who cannot hold on, who cannot rationalize, and they're being taken. Like Bobby Hemmett said, a lot of these people that are going to jail, homeless people, or that are fed up with the country because they want this liberal agenda, this leftist agenda to take place, so they join these organizations. People have been lied to, and they're being lied to, and these lies have taken root in their consciousness, in their mind, in their brain, in their hearts. So they really believe what they're doing is correct.
So right is wrong and wrong is right?
Exactly. Being wise is being stupid. The stupid person is being wise. You got society lifting up strippers and whores to ask their opinion on politics. and they're on the way the government should go. And so this is what we're dealing with.
So let me ask you a question: Could a stripper run? Could a stripper run for office?
Yes, you can.
Could she win?
Huh?
Could she win?
If she win, then it's up to what her constituents is going to say, or how she's going to vote for that, how she's going to vote for their agenda. Like, see, Ilhan Omar out of Minnesota. See, she lied when she came to this country. She came to the country under Obama. When Obama brought all of those Ethiopians in.
But she is Somali.
And right, he brought all the Ethiopians in. He brought all the Somalians in. He brought in all of those. It's another country. He brought all these people in. If anybody's ever been to Minnesota, there's a whole section in Minneapolis where there's Somalians all over the place. They run everything. It's like a Somalian town, a Chinatown, a Greek town, etc. But these people are here illegally. She lied and said that the guy that she came with was her husband. He was actually her brother. So after she got here, she ran and she got in office. All of it came out. So then she had to. They hid her story. She produced there was another guy. She got married to him. I'm sorry. She was married when her husband was still in Somalia. She said her brother was her husband, and them two came to America. When it was found out that was her brother, the media went to Somalia because her husband back in Somalia said, "I'm her husband, that's her brother." And they covered that stuff up. Well, she's getting ready she's under investigation to be indicted, stealing money from her campaign. Now she's married to the white boy. She's married to this white guy. That's going to be her big downfall.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but so she, but
Bosnia. That's right, Bosnia.
You think she came here illegally too?
Yeah, she came here illegally.
Okay.
Her, she was AOC and that other girl, Hajib. They're all they got elected by cheating. There's a documentary you need to go watch. You need to buy it and go watch it. It's only $19. Did you see the documentary about Hillary's America?
Oh no, I ain't seen that.
Did you see the one before that, Obama's America?
I don't think I've seen. You know what? The Hillary's America was about the Syrian refugees and stuff, right?
No, it was about how they were stealing the vote. When Hillary was running and Trump, Hillary was running for president, this documentary came out during the campaign. That's something you need to watch. Hillary's America, Obama's America. And then there's another one that just came out called 2,000 Mules.
Yeah, I've seen that.
You saw that? That's new. That just came out.
Yeah, that's the Susan.
Right. Now you see, and he's the one that did the other two. Hillary's America. Hillary's America played in the movie theater. I went to the movie theater and saw it. You know what? 2,000 Mules gives you facts and evidence of how they stole the election in 2020.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah. So that's the evidence that they're going to use. See, I don't know if everybody's been paying attention. Arizona, Missouri, and Pennsylvania have not certified the presidential 2020 election.
Yeah. I heard about that.
So that means Biden is not the president.
That's right, because they got the dual state of electors.
Right. So all the electors for those two is 7 states total, but those 3 have already submitted their stuff. Biden is not the official constitutional president. He's a rogue agent. He's a saboteur.
Yeah, he's a bad boy, man. But look, check this out. Speaking of that, glad you brought that up. So that thing that happened over there by India, that was
In Sri Lanka.
No. I'm just talking about that was way worse than anything they talked about on some January 6th, right?
Yeah.
So they still talking about having a January. Now they're saying Trump is waiting to executive. They say, oh yeah, we want Steve Bannon to testify. We want you to testify. Y'all don't want Steve Bannon to testify. Well, you might, but y'all want to do it behind closed doors.
The whole January 6th hearing is illegal.
It's a charade.
Forget it. Not only does it violate constitutional procedure, it violates the rules of Congress. They only have select evidence that they make up. The witnesses that came in all testified, and they all were proved, especially that woman that said that Trump was in the back of the car and he tried to grab the wheel, and they said, we're not going, Mr. President. And then Trump grabbed the guy in the passenger seat, Secret Service, by the shoulder, and then grabbed the steering wheel to try to turn the car around.
You believe that?
That's some insane shit.
But then she said she wasn't in the same vehicle. She heard that from somebody else.
Say it again?
She wasn't even in the vehicle though.
No, she wasn't. And then guess what? Trump was in the back seat. To his left, Secret Service. The driver, Secret Service. The passenger, Secret Service. And guess what all 3 of them said?
We will testify.
That didn't happen.
We will testify.
We will testify to what happened. Now,
she also said Trump threw a plate at somebody and hit the wall and the ketchup was all on the wall.
Yeah, no. Dawson, yeah. Now, Shernine Dawson, she said, I heard they may take Biden out.
And Kamala midterms into weird illness.
Right. Because the way that they're doing this is what they've been planning to do. But it's like you made this plan and it didn't go. You're able to do what you're trying to do, but it's too much. It's too much, too fast, and it's destroying everything faster than you wanted it to do. So now they take Biden out, and Hillary and Kamala has to go down. You know who takes over, right?
Nancy Pelosi. You don't want her either, though.
No, but she's only going to last for the next 3. What people see, there's a lot of people in government what people don't understand that are not for any of this stuff, and they are pushing back. They are fighting back. White, black, Asian, Chinese, French. They're fighting against what Biden is doing. He's literally trying to turn America into a communist, one world government.
And he said liberal world order. He said that.
Yeah, well, that's what he's trying to do. But see, he's losing all the Supreme Court cases.
Okay, let me bring up something here.
Yeah.
Today is 7-11, and today they say a man went on a rampage at 4 7-Eleven stores, killing 2 and injuring 3.
What?
Something about Slippery Day or something. You can get this article on the Golden State Times. They're saying that a man killed 2 and injured 3 and went to 4 7-Eleven stores. I just found out last week in Richmond, on 7-Eleven eating 24 hours on every store. So one of them, they close at 11 o'clock now. So, I mean, I don't know. But, yeah, a crazed California man travels to 4 different locations in 2 different counties where he killed 2 and injured 3 that lasted over 5 hours. He wanted to paint the end of the robberies, but in reality, he is a serial killer. So I'm looking at this like, how did he get to all these stores in that bit of time? Nobody stopped him. Speaking of that, they got another issue to bring you up since we've been talking about court cases. Supreme Court ruled on law on concealed carry in the state of New York. But now New York wants you to have all your social media handled before they even let you use the concealed carry. Basically making it almost impossible for you to get it.
Well, the federal law supersedes the state law in this regard because there's a constitutional precedent that the Supreme Court is implementing. So if the state tries to do that, they're open for lawsuits. You can sue them mercilessly.
Yeah, let me bring this up because I want people to see this. This is just some weird stuff, and it just happened to come up. I can't believe it. But go ahead and talk what you're about because I want you to talk about it. Talk about the concealed carry for a minute.
Everybody and the mayor the brother, he supported it, and it was all announced on CNN that how he was for it. Did you hear about the? It was a bodega in New York City, in Brooklyn, where this guy came in, they got the bullet, they got the glass up there. It's all, when you go to the counter, everything's behind the glass, and so it's encased inside, right? And you got to go around to a door to get in. Well, this brother comes in, going off on this guy, walked around to the door, went in the back, went in to the booth, beat the man up, pushed him into the wall. He fell down and started going off at him. So the man got up, picked up a knife, and stabbed the dude in the chest. Stabbed him in the side multiple times. The guy died. They arrested the store owner, and they're trying to prosecute him. But the mayor came out and said he was absolutely correct for doing that. Convenience stores are celebrating the 95th anniversary, but this year it has been strained by tragedy after a crazed California man travels 4 different locations in 2 different counties, where he killed 2 and wounded 3 in a rampage that lasted over 5 hours. He wanted to paint the incident as robberies, but in reality, he is a serial killer. This is the mental defects of your people. They're all black, covering their face. You can look at these people and tell they're black, the way they walk. This is the problem. So, these guns, yeah, we need to have guns. Need to be carrying some guns. Even though Noble Drew Ali said, in these times, do not carry a gun, nor do not even carry a butter knife.
That's interesting right there. You gotta tell me the thing behind that.
Right, because see, our war is spirituals. Like Bobby Hemming said, we're focusing on the wrong thing. We need to be focusing on uniting spiritually, doing rituals in different cities, in different states, at the same time, for the same thing. Going into our spiritual magic. That's where our God world is, in the spiritual, not in the physical, because the physical is locked. The white boy got it locked. So we've got to elevate. They got the physical locked. We've got to elevate. But you only can elevate to spirituality.
User. For the last 6 years, I've been live streaming consistently to
Hold
YouTube,
on,
Facebook, and everywhere else on the internet that would have me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Joining us for more on this, civil rights attorney Leo Terrell. He is a Fox News.
Nah, go ahead. Go ahead and say what you got to say. Go ahead. I'm going to put it up in a second. Go ahead.
Yeah. So these gun laws, see, they can't get rid of the gun laws. They're not going to be able to do it. They can't do it. Because it's constitutional. The only way they can get rid of these gun laws the people carry, they have to have a constitutional amendment. Right now in Congress, the Senate and the House have to vote to change something. They only need 2/3 to get the House, whatever it is, passed, or the Senate, whatever it is, passed. But to have a constitutional amendment, they have to have 3/4 of the country, of the states, to say, yes, let's have a constitutional convention. And that's not going to happen. Go ahead.
Okay. I want y'all to hear this right quick, everybody. Because me and Sakima talked about it, but I'm going to play one video for it. Just to let people know what you're up against. Let me read my fair use thing right now. So, because I knew these boys be trying to whack me all the time, right? Fair use copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance made for fair use of purposes such as reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute, otherwise may be infringing. So let me play the video. Sakima, after you're done with the video, I want you to just give a little bit of expound on it, and we're going to leave it at that, okay?
All right.
Contributor and Percy's biggest fan, we should say. So Glenn Youngkin is the governor of Virginia, of course. He's very frustrated that he can't help do more to protect the justices. Watch here.
I wish we could do more. And this is why I've called on Attorney General Garland to enforce the federal law, which is so clear. You can't parade and picket in front of a judge's home and try to influence them. This is not a moment where we can allow anything to happen to our justices. Broadly speaking, this is about democracy.
So is there anything that he could do that would be at the state level that is not available to him, obviously, at the federal level, since the attorney general apparently is hands off?
Well, thanks for having me, Dana. First of all, the priority is the responsibility is with the federal level. If there is some form of state law that he can enforce, yes. But I'll tell you right now, the inaction of the Department of Justice is a signal to these protesters. I mean, you mentioned it as bounty money at the top, as far as money being paid to harass, intimidate Supreme Court justices, not just the justice, but their family members. The Attorney General has done nothing to stop this, to deter it, to enforce the current federal law. And that is a signal to the protesters. Go ahead. And then you have Joe Biden basically saying the same thing. We will support you. One final point on this. You got the White House press secretary basically hiding under the First Amendment, freedom of speech. This is a violation of law. Freedom of speech only goes to a certain point.
Leo, you might have seen the tweet, but you might not have seen the response from Morton's The Steakhouse, where Brett Kavanaugh was eating last week. Here's the tweet from Shutdown DC asking, hey, if you know where somebody is, Supreme Court justices, send us $50. And if they're still there when we get there, we'll give you $200. What is this world? Morton's put out a statement saying that they won't allow it. They won't tolerate. If more restaurants did that, you would see less of this.
Bravo to Morton, and I hope they stood up and they said, we're not going to tolerate this. They respect the Supreme Court justices, they support the idea that freedom of speech or the right to protest is limited to a certain extent. And here, Morton stood up. They will face the backlash, but I am very proud of them. Basically, Bill, what they're doing is with these bounties, they're giving employment opportunities to professional protesters, specifically against the Supreme Court justices.
The other thing that we've been following today, Leo, is I guess eye-opening, disappointing on a Monday when you think you might be able to start off the week feeling better about your government, then this happens, something like this. So here's some of this American Rescue Plan money going to things like the anti-racism training, woke policies. Rochester Museum had a third grade field trip to see a Take It Down exhibit. That's about a statue there. Minneapolis Institute of Arts wants a trained guide of the museum to use anti-racist lens when giving tours. Studio Museum in Harlem built a statue that addresses Black masculinity. And in Northwest Mississippi Community College, create campus safe spaces. Now, this is the American Rescue Plan. It's in the title. And I can imagine that federal taxpayers would be frustrated that this isn't like a rescue. This is something fine to spend money on if you want to, but why federal taxpayer dollars?
Thank you for asking me that question, Dan. I'm a school teacher. I'm a civil rights lawyer. This is a expanded attempt by the progressive to inject racism. They tried the schools, now libraries and museums. This has absolutely nothing to do with the pandemic or the COVID condition that we had. I challenge anyone, the statue of masculinity, I want someone watching this program to tell me, what does that do to reduce the pandemic or affect COVID? Teaching kids anti-racism, what's the standard, Dana? This has absolutely nothing. Where's an inspector general on this $1.9 million of COVID fund designed for COVID relief, but used to progress and expand a racist, anti-critical race theory agenda beyond the schools? And this is a backdoor way to do it. It's shameful and it's embarrassing.
That's what you get when you spend $2 trillion of government money. Leo, thanks for coming back. We'll call on you later in the week.
Thank
Leo
you.
Terrell, thank you.
Hi, Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page.
All right, man. Your thoughts on that information right
Yeah,
there,
Leo.
brother?
I like Leo Terrell, Leo 2.0. Now, what people may not remember, Merrick Garland, who is now the illegal Attorney General. Why illegal? Biden is not the legitimate constitutional president. 7 states, 4 so far, have not certified the election. So Biden didn't win the presidency. That's number one. Number two, when Trump was running for office with Hillary during the campaign, Obama was still president. He tried to force
Merrick Garland.
Senator, I think it's Senator McConnell,
Yeah.
said, oh no, we're going to wait till the new president come in. So Garland never got in. Trump does his 4, they steal the election. First person that they appoint, Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland is a communist, Marxist, legal assassin for the liberal, communist, Democrat Party. He's a legal assassin, sniper, in the position of the chief law enforcement officer of America.
Well, here ain't nothing.
Well, illegally, because Biden is illegitimate, illegal. Anybody that he appoints is illegal and illegitimate too.
Gotcha.
So Merrick Garland was for the Constitution. These people are for Marxism, socialism, communism, one world government. Because he wrote that letter from the Secretary of Education, the Spanish brother, who is also a Marxist, communist, and socialist. He said, you got to do something at these boards because the parents are coming to the school board meetings and complaining. So Merrick Garland wrote a memo to the FBI for the FBI to go to these cities and investigate parents who are complaining to the school board that they don't want their children being taught how to masturbate in elementary school, how to cross-dress, talk about becoming a woman and they're a boy, talk about becoming a boy and they're a woman. They were complaining about this, so the FBI went in to these cities and attacked the parents. This is who Merrick Garland is. Now, with these justices, you saw where they were protesting at Justice Kavanaugh and all this other stuff. You know, like Leo said, there is a federal law that you are not allowed to protest at a government official of the Supreme Court, of the federal court, and various positions of government. You cannot protest at their homes. Well, they're at their homes. The Department of Justice is supposed to go in and arrest them. But because he supports them, they want them to do that. Bro, we are in a war. We are in a war. We're in action. Right. We got different.
I'm glad you said that, because in New York today, they released a PSA of a possible nuclear attack, but then they said it might not be that serious, but they're just letting you know. Okay, and where the hell is that coming from? From the president, from the government-controlled Democrat Party, Soros, and all those others. They're going to, just like they did 9/11, just like they did all of this stuff.
I got a question to ask you before I close out with you. What you think about this nutcake guy, young black guy dating Bill Gates' daughter? That got to be some sick stuff in it. That's crazy, right?
Bill Gates, you know, he's a pedophile.
Yeah.
And who's to say his daughter's not involved in that? And that guy, who's to say they're all not in that?
Well, this is what I'm gonna say, Sakima. Like me and you talked about the Georgia guys, though. The New World Order is on its way.
It's already here.
It's already here.
Right, but see what it is, it hasn't completed. It has not completed. In other words, it's in the house, but it's been secured into one room of the house.
Yep. So, you know, we're gonna try to get you on again maybe next Monday, right? But we gotta really stay on our game right now, because in Canada they, people haven't been able to get their money. People bank accounts freezing, then this, that, and the third, or not being freezing.
They trying to do that here.
But they're trying to create this thing, and we're gonna talk about it next time. I guess I got the information on it. I just didn't. It's just a little bit more to bring up. So when you get a chance, study this thing called the ESG. That's Environmental Social Government, and it's still the ESG. You know about it?
I heard about it. I haven't checked into it.
It's telling the corporation basically they the so-called word woke, you gotta have. Yeah, and it's basically tying you to a social credit system.
Yeah.
But they're actually trying to bring the real social credit system. That's the company. They're trying to bring that to people.
Yeah. If you don't believe in a liberal Democrat agenda, they're going to freeze your account.
Oh yeah, answer that question for Dr. Bey.
They're telling us to reserve our energy. They're trying to cut our power off again like February freeze. You see, back in February, see, Texas, like every other state, has their own backup system. But because it's under federal regulation, when that cold wave came through in Texas, Texas was already prepared. Hit the switch, keep the power off through the state, right? Through the state government, through Texas, because they had a backup system. They got ready to do that. The federal government regulatory agency came out and said, you cannot do that. If you do, we're coming to shut you down with force. That's why Texas went cold and the people froze, because the government threatened them for turning on their electrical grid.
Well, I do know they've been talking about, reserving energy and stuff. Oh, it's been so hot and all that climate control, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. But climate control, people don't understand, is part of the depopulation agenda too.
Right. The climate control they talked about the climate control in the late 1800s. They talked about 1911. They talked about in the 50s. They brought it up in the 1970s. Climate control. I remember I was in third and fourth grade.
You know something? Come and think about it. They've been trying to get these electric cars too. At GMC, you can go look this up. They are saying they got recalls on the car. They want to recall your car, right? But then they say they recall, but they don't have the parts to fix the car. So why would you tell me to recall the car if you don't have the parts to fix it? That just doesn't even make sense, right?
Because you got to understand, they want the American people destitute, broke down in the street with absolutely nothing. Then the government
be happy.
Huh?
You will own nothing and be happy.
That's right. This is what they want. So as we look at this, we got to get past saying these people are stupid. These people are dumb. No, they want you in the street, homeless with nothing. That's what they want you to be. All of us. And a lot of these white people are not having it. The militia groups are growing. Even the so-called black militia groups are growing.
Okay, Dr. Bey, let me bring this to you. So Donald Washington, he's saying for next week's, he want me and you to devise a topic of what 3 things we should be doing. I'm gonna give 3 things right now. 1, we need to be stocking up. That's one thing. 2,
food, water, yeah,
ammunition.
If you got a gun.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to say something else. We need to pay attention to what these politicians are doing. But I wouldn't even, and number 3, don't worry about the politicians. In my mind, worry about the bureaucrats behind the scene, the World Health Organization, these types, because Biden and them ain't running that. They trying to give everything away to government or unilateral organizations, I would call them, right? Because now the WHO is saying, ooh, the monkeypox is coming for you and the ninja variant. I'm like, come on, man.
It's scared.
Huh?
It's scared everybody.
I don't think people are scared as they were anymore.
Well, you got a group of people that's afraid. I got a friend that's running for Congress for James Clyburn seat in South Carolina and Columbia. Well, in South Carolina. He's running to take James Clyburn's seat. He was at a campaign event. Black people were telling him, I want to vote for you, but you're going after Clyburn. And all he was doing was reading a news article of what Clyburn did and said and quoted what he said in the article. So what's happening is these people, our so-called black people, they're locked they're locked in stock as a Democrat. They're not changing. They don't know anything. They're lost, and they honestly feel that they know what's going on.
Well, let me say something, brother. Once again, you dropped the hammer with the mic. A lot of information, so you got to say.
Yeah, they are ignorant. Nitty said they're ignorant.
But we know that. But fear has no place, and they say it's not for the weak. So that being said, I'm glad you always give a voice a reason when you come on. Next week, I'm going to try to, or when it may not be next week, but we're going to try to get this thing a little bit more organized for people so they will learn, because, hey, it's too many, something has happened every day. Just like I told you, that thing at 7-Eleven just popped up. I just happened to just see that.
Yeah.
So, but people like your content. They want to get in contact with you. So, you can go ahead and, tell them where to find you. Sakima Bey.
If I type in the private chat, everybody sees that?
No, they can't see the private chat.
Oh, well, I don't know how to do it this way.
That don't. What I just how about? Well, I got your email. Don't worry about it. Sakima Bey at gmail.com, right? No.
Sakima Iban. I'm typing
All right,
for you.
spell it for me. I got Sakima. Spell it.
And
all right. Hold on. All right. Let me get this other one.
all right.
Well, hold on. Let me make sure I get these numbers in. The number in first before you go.
Okay.
Damn it. Okay. Okay. All right. There you go. Your number. Y'all can reach Sakima Bey. Is in the comment section. Y'all can reach him. Reach out to him. He's got that information in the Constitution. And matter of fact, one more thing before you go. They talking about abortion. One thing about the 25 amendments. Excuse me. Abortion was never in the Constitution anyway. So therefore, well, Roe vs. Wade wasn't in the Constitution.
That's a case.
That's right.
That's a law case. And abortion is up to the states. What the Democrats did in 1973, they pushed like they're doing now to force the politicians and the judiciary at the time paid them off, certain Republicans, some of the some of the Supreme Court judges, and they ruled in favor of Roe. That's how it got. And it's not a law. It's just a case decision. That's why the court today had to get rid of it, because you can't go by the Roe versus Wade because it's nothing but a case. All right.
That's right. So you got to understand, a lot of stuff can be chopped down the mile if you get the right lawyers in office. And one thing I know, Sakima, if you was on that case, you would have struck it down too if you was on the Supreme Court.
Yeah, because see, now it's where it's supposed to be. The individual states are to make this decision.
That's right.
You can't make it national for everybody when they don't agree with it.
That's right.
All right.
Well, yes, sir. Well, you look, Sakima, you take your time, right?
Yeah. All right, y'all.
And keep it pushing, brother.
All right. Peace and power.
Yes, sir. You too.